Hi, you guys. Welcome along. It's Ian. How are you all doing? Um, the hair is taking over again. As you can see, the beard is getting long and grey. And I'm looking a bit of a state, if I'm completely honest. I think the last couple of 3 weeks now have taken it out of me a bit. I think with knowing about the chair, and knowing that's happening, and now it's trying to organise everything together to get things organised. I've got to get people in to move rubbish out of the bedroom. Then I've got to get people out from the bed for my bariatric bed. I have a special hospital bed. I don't know if you know. That has to be taken apart and put back together in my bedroom because they're not going to do the handover of the wheelchair until the front room is a front room. So I've got to get that organised in the next, I'd say, what's the date today? I've got about three, maybe 4 weeks, and I should have my chair. Which is great news. Very much looking forward to getting out and about. Also, very, very anxious. A little bit worried about reactions of people. Maybe people that I know as well, how they're going to look at me. How am I going to be looked at differently? Of course, I am disabled now. To be fair, maybe I am stressing too much and overthinking too much about it. As you well know, with my DPD, overthinking is prevalent. It's absolutely constant. Every little thing. If I think I've upset somebody, it'll send me off on one. If I think, if somebody makes plans and lets me down, that upsets me. It's a debilitating mental illness because you can never really switch off. You're always tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. But I've had it for 40 years. I don't suppose the last few years are going to really make much difference to me. I know it frustrates a lot of people around me that I call my loved ones. I mean, there's only a very handful, few of them, but I'm sure that especially Kat. Oh God, she must absolutely just. It must be just a nightmare. Anyway, I thought I'd do this one. Something that I haven't really covered, and that was my marriages. If you know me, you'll know my wife's version of it. It's a tricky one. I met Emma when I was in the army. We soon got together. We got married when I was. What was I when I married Emma? 21, 22, I think. So I was 21, 22. I came out of the army and I rumbled what was going on, and that was basically we had Josh at this point, which is my son. And she was just basically sleeping with anybody and everybody because we were married quarters. She was popular with the guys. I think that was my first breakdown. That was my first psychotic breakdown. That I was so invested in Emma and Josh. I brought up Josh for the first 6 months because poor old Emma had postnatal depression. Um, it didn't stop her going out and enjoying herself, but it did stop her not able to properly care for our son. So me and Josh had quite a bond going for the first 18 months. And me and Emma split up, obviously. I spent some time in Edith Morgan due to the breakdown. That was all she needed, basically, to get me out of everyone's lives. Filed for divorce on unreasonable grounds. And I think that was my pivotal moment of drinking. That's probably the end of that marriage is when I started to really drink. It had already been a problem because it's a squaddy. That's what we did. That's how we did it. You know, weekends we would let off steam. We would go out. We would go out. Our mates and we'd get absolutely blind drunk. You know, and if there was a fight, bonus. So she found it quite difficult early on in the relationship, I think. Early on in the marriage, whether that is the reason that she sought solace elsewhere, I do not know. You have to ask her that. Did she break my heart? Yes, she did. She did break my heart. I loved Emma. I loved her. I really loved her, but I loved our son more. He was the greatest thing to ever come out of that relationship. And however and whatever he feels about me now, or doesn't feel about me now, or doesn't know about me now, I know that I still have ears in the bay. Obviously, you know, I was part of the culture, so I know what's going on there. I know what people are doing, and I keep a far enough distance away from him to know what's going on in his life without him knowing that I'm encroaching, I guess. So, you know, I'll always look out for him. You know, he's my boy. You know, I can't change that. Um, did I not fight enough? Yeah, I didn't. I didn't fight enough. I had ample opportunity. I had 2 or 3 ample opportunities to make it better, and I did not. Um, so I'm the one that's got to live with that, and Josh has got to live with that because I let him down. Uh, Me as a father, um, I don't know where I would have gone if me and Emma had just stayed together. I don't know how my life would have panned out. I don't think we would have stayed together. We were too incompatible. Um, but yeah, so anyway, me and Emma split up, and I was still having access with Joshua, and that's when I met my second wife to be, Kelly. Now, me and Emma had been split up, God, probably 6 months. She was sleeping with one of my really good friends, and we came to blows at a local club, obviously. Um, but for some unknown reason, I didn't beat the living crap out of him, and I still to this day don't understand that one. After the person that I was, that would have been nothing to me, just the excuse, and he was expecting it. And I didn't. I remember grabbing hold of him and throwing him against the car and like, you know, holding my fist up. But I don't know what it was. I guess at that point I just realised what she was, maybe, you know. Maybe I realised that there was, you know, because there was hope for me. Because she was, you know, when we split up, I would be going out, because I moved in with my brother late, and he was the only one that could look after me. Thank God for him. So, you know, I went to live with Leighton and I was in Torquay, and that's when I met Kelly. But Emma was going out every weekend, every Monday. She'd go to Bonds. We always went to Bonds on Monday. It was student night. We'd go down to venue on a Thursday, student night. Guess where she'd be? She'd be at venue. We'd go to Bonds, or we'd go down to Ritz. She'd be there, her and her sister, all the time, right in front of me, you know, dancing and you know, singing and karaoke songs. I remember once being at the soda fountain and working there, and yeah, I remember her and her sister getting up and doing a song, and it was a I'm trying to think of the name of the band. Um, I can't remember, but it was a song, and it basically was aimed at me. The song was aimed at me, and I just took so much from her, and she broke me. She absolutely broke me, that woman, but made me a really hardened person emotionally, really hard. Enough for me to walk away from my son because I didn't think I could offer him the right start in life. At that point, I wasn't a nice person. I'd met Kelly. We'd gone into a very deep relationship very quickly, living with each other. She was at university um, in Cardiff. I was I was obviously I was in Torquay, and she'd either come back weekends to stay at mine, or I'd go to Cardiff, um, and I was accepted into her family, warts and all. Um, I remember the first time I met her mum, Shelley, who I still hold dear to my heart. She's so loving to me and treated me as a member of the family. Same as Barry, my father-in-law. He was amazing. He was a bloke's bloke, but he had a heart of gold, and I loved them both. I loved them both dearly. Loved them thumbs like more than I ever did my real parents. But I remember the first time I ever met Shelley, and I had to pay £59 to the child support agency, and that was back then in those days. Otherwise, I'd have my visit with Joshua cancelled, and she paid it. I remember when my brother Paul died, I didn't have a smart pair of black shoes. She bought me a pair of like 60 quid black shoes, so I could go to the funeral. This woman did so much for me. She was amazing. She was an amazing person. Um, could she be a little bit overbearing? I guess so. Yeah, yeah, but she was a big personality, and I think that's why we got on, because we were both big personality. I've always been. That's a lie. When I was at school, before all of coming into the bay, the first 13 years, I was quite timid and quiet. I was like, the smallest lad. And it's so there you go, guys. If you eat your greens, you will grow up to be big and strong like your Uncle Ian. Um, so yeah, yeah. I mean, the turning point was moving to Brixton with my mother and Paul. That's where my life changed. My alcohol really started with the breakup of me and Emma, my first marriage. Um, then there was me and Kelly, and that was a. I think I loved the family more than I loved Kelly, and that is a horrible, horrible thing to say. Um, I loved them enough to get over being glass buyer and still marry Anna. You'd have thought I really would have learned my lesson. But I still went ahead and married her because that's what Barry and Shelley wanted for me. They wanted me to be part of the family. They wanted, Um, but they turned in the divorce. They sort of started doing this, that, and the other. But they were trying to protect their daughter. Do I regret the end of me and Kelly? Oh my God, without a doubt, she didn't deserve me going off with somebody else. Um, I still go on record as to say nothing sexual happened until me and Kelly were actually separated. But then there was Cat with a K, and that was just a nice relationship. And once again, her mum and dad, they were separated, and we actually lived in the granny flat downstairs to her mum, and we got on all right. She was all right. We got, she was a bit of a funny stick bugger. But I got on with her dad, Colin, really, really well. We became really good friends. We did stuff together. I remember a day he wanted to cook a really nice meal, so I came over and I cooked a really nice meal, and we did it between us. Like, you did this, you did it. He was my commie. and it was brilliant. We had a really good day, and then there was barbecues and going out for drinks. I remember Boxing Day in the Lansdowne, and is it Lansdowne? I can't remember which one it was now. No, the Hayway. Sorry, yeah, Boxing Day in the Hayway, and the football on. Leeds were playing, I think, and yeah, we're having a few beers on the Guinness. Random drink, I know. Um, so yeah. Uh, so yeah, but me and Kat kind of like, I reckon about 3.5 years of like what I call an active proper relationship, and then we just became comfortable. And I don't know, there's particularly much passion. I don't think for me on either sides of us. Um, I started to put a lot of weight on, and I think that because I used to be so fit, obviously with surfing and playing rugby and things. So me and Kat split up. Um, I was in a brief 6-month relationship with a lady. Well, lady, yeah. Michelle. Um, yeah, that came at the worst time of my life because I had 16.5 grand and I spent it on her and Paul, my flatmate at the time, who basically fleeced me. Uh, yeah. So yeah, I've been pretty used by people. The problem is I put too much trust in people and then they let me down. And of course, with my BPD, there's nothing worse than that for you to do. I'd much more appreciate if you just fronted me up and said there was a problem as opposed to, like being a dick. So anyway, that's the life of relationships of Ian Christopher Baker. Um, what I actually forgot to mention was that I did have a few sorties with ladies. I've not been a monk. Um, I'm not remotely as bad as my brother Leighton was, who, God, every time he touched a girl, she was impregnated. I think he had 82 children. God, I love him. I loved him so much. Him and Paul were my brothers. They were my brothers. We were inseparable. Absolutely went everywhere together. And Dave Glover, there's 4 of us, and we were the three musketeers and D'Artagnan, and guess who was D'Artagnan? I don't know if it's a good thing or not. Anyway, I bored you all enough with my miserable existence of relationships and how failure is prevalent in them. Um, People do wonder about my current relationship with Kat. We are engaged. Will we get married? No. Will we live together? No. Why are we engaged? Because it's a commitment to each other. I guess it's a commitment that we're going to spend the rest of my time together. That I guess that's what it is. I'm sure that's what it feels for Kat, but obviously I don't want to speak for her. So she obviously has her own views on why she's still engaged to me. Does it upset me? Of course it does. It breaks my heart. Um, even with Emma, who probably I'd say was not my first love, not my first love by a long stretch, but I'd say the love I thought I felt for Emma, this surpasses tenfold. This relationship I'm in now, and that's no bullshit. I am frequently overwhelmed by how much and what she does for me, without even thinking. She is the most unselfish girl I have ever met in my life. She is so loving. And just like everyone else, we enjoy snuggles and kisses. So, we we enjoy each other's company and we get on, and she's very intelligent. Um, I'm a little bit like, well, you know me, I know a lot about nothing really. That's probably been my story all my life, apart from my chefing, I suppose. Yeah, yeah. Thinking about it, just bit of a disappointment for the first sort of 40 odd years, really, wasn't it? Sort of till cat, and then I've kind of settled, not the drinking, not the drugs. Um, yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm on the right stuff. I'm on the right path. I'm on the right path. Put it this way: I'm not injecting class A drugs into my herbals. Everybody, so do not worry. I'm on too much morphine for that. I'm absolutely spaced out today as it is. But yeah, so that was a little bit about my relationships, I suppose, and I had two prior to Emma, and that was there was another Michelle. Oddly enough, that was my first ever. That was infatuation. That was just that's who I lost my virginity to, and yeah, that was infatuation. She had a boyfriend. She enjoyed the attention from me. Basically, she was Emma. You know what? I look back now and I think, my God, I married Michelle. Um, yeah, I seem to have gone for the same kind of women all of the time, and this time I've gone for something that I wouldn't have. I mean, she's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, Kat's beautiful. I look at her and I desire her. She to me is the most beautiful person in the entire world. Um, but people probably look at us together and they just think, just a nice normal couple doing the normally coupley stuff. And I don't think they realise exactly how strong we are. We really are super strong. Um, and we do make a good looking couple when we go out. When I've got my hair cut, that's the first thing I'm doing with my wheelchair, everyone, is getting my bloody hair cut. So so when we do ourselves up and we go out, we look absolutely the dogs. I tell you what, when we go to Edinburgh, we'll show these kids a thing or two. I promise you that. And Blackpool, watch out, Blackpool. Baker's back. Oh my God, what's going to happen there? Oh God, that could be messy. Hopefully it'll be all right. Hopefully it'll be all right. I think that just about sums it up, really. So yeah, so there was Emma, and then actually I was priorly living when I first was in the army. When I came back on leave, I'd stay with my girlfriend at the time, who was called Fiona, and we were very close. And we just, yeah, I can't help it. We split up. We met up after I divorced Emma, and she ended up seeing the chef who I was convinced she was seeing anyway. So that kind of like confirmed my suspicions. But at that time I was just too broken after Emma to really care about. You know, there was almost a rekindling, I think, there with Fiona for a minute. That could have, I think, if I'd have blown, it would have lit. Or is that the other way around? But either way, I think you know what I mean. I don't have regrets in life, but I I wish I'd done things differently. I wish I'd have seen Emma for what she was before Josh was born, so I wouldn't have had to have gone through the pain of, I mean, emotional pain of discovering if it was even my son. Um, yeah. Anyway, that just about sums it up for the day, I think, guys. You take care, everyone. It's been great chatting to you. I'm going to go back and hit the morphine. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.